Welcome to the top 5 specialty bases in Rust. In this video, we'll be covering different types of bases outside your regular starter base and main base compound that you might be unaware of or don't know about if you're a newer player. The clips in this video I have taken from other YouTubers, and the links to each of these videos will be in the description below, so you can go watch the original base build or tutorial that you've seen in this video. And also drop a like and comment below how many hours you have in Rust. Starting off at number 1, we got the submarine and boat base and rib base. This is the most important thing in the game in my opinion, because it allows you to traverse the ocean, where you can go gather barrels easily out on the junk piles if you're having troubles on land gathering scrap as a small group. This is where you store your submarine if you're going to the underwater labs frequently, and where you can also keep your ribs and regular boats for doing oil rig and what have you during airdrops out in the ocean for safe collecting. Since these decay and require scrap to purchase them, you'll want to store them safely in a boat base somewhere. At number 2, we got the horse and car garage / stable. Transportation is obviously one of the most important things in the game, as the maps are quite large and running on foot isn't necessarily the most entertaining form of transportation. So keeping your horses safe in a small 2x1, 2x2, doesn't have to be anything crazy big, is a very good option. But if you want to ball out on a giant horse stable, have some fun with that, you can play the game any way you want to, and this is one of the areas in the game where you can go crazy and have a reason to build something. With car garages, you can also keep them quite simple, though they are a little more complex with the electrical aspect, and this is where people do really go crazy. With the addition of the voice props DLC, you can literally have your own taxi service in the game of Rust and ball out on your base, open up some shops around here, and really have some fun with this aspect of the game. At number 3, on the more traditional side of the game, we have furnace bases and oil refinery bases. In the newer version of the game, you are able to build this quite compact base around your large furnace, which is a way that you can smelt materials to build bases faster. So this might be something important to you if you want to build a giant shop like you saw in the last clip for your cars. You would want to get one of these down, and some people even consider turning this into their starter base completely and utilizing all of the space on the outer edges to store their TC lockers and a ton of large boxes. A majority of the time, people build these bases to keep their furnaces safe from people jumping over their walls, or they don't have enough materials or the blueprints for the external walls. At number 4, one of the most complex type of specialty bases is the farm base. You can grow berries and hemp and food inside of this base to sustain you for your entire wipe with just a 2x2. It's very cheap and easily expandable, and there's multiple and very important reasons for building one of these. One thing is that it's automated. You don't have to worry about it. You just plant your seeds and you're good to go if you've got the correct electrical system and water system in place. The berries allow you to make potions, like potions in the game that give you special stat boosts like extra health or extra ore mining, things like that. The hemp you can use to craft med syringes, clothing. You can sell it at the bandit camp for scrap, and you can utilize your horse base, which we talked about earlier, for fertilizer that you can compost, which you can use in this farm base, or you can also sell that for scrap as well. So some of these bases, like the horse base and these farm bases, have actual utility in the game that can provide for you in a sense of automation. This one is not really necessarily important for you during your wipe. It depends on your gameplay style. Most people have a person in their clan that is dedicated for farming, as most people don't really like this, but a lot of Minecraft players or builders, they love this type of stuff. It gives them an extra added depth to the game that wasn't there previously. So this one is up to you whether you want to do it or not, but it is quite useful and it can generate a lot of scrap and materials. At number 5, we have shop bases. At some point in your wipe, once you're pretty good at the game, you'll start accumulating things that you don't know what to do with, and you'll end up just throwing them on the ground. An alternative to this would be to build a shop base. You would want to build a base specifically for this, as to not give away your actual base, because when you turn these on, they show up on the map. So what you could do is have a horse base or car garage at your main base, and then set up another horse base on a different part of the map where there's a lot of players, like near Outpost or something like that, and then have a horse base and garage base at both your shop base and your main base and transport the goods in between them at nighttime, which is one of the safest ways to do this. People sometimes go really crazy with these shop bases as well. They'll make village centers, hotels, you know, like I'm sure you've seen some YouTube videos by now if you're a newer player, from YouTubers going absolutely bonkers with the vending machines, creating all sorts of cool ideas like this one I had in the past of selling cars automated with electricity. So not only can you really have some fun with this and get creative with it, but it's also a great way to sell things to players who've just joined the server and you've been on the server for a while. Could sell maybe some starter gear sets or extra things instead of throwing them out. To top off the video, I've got 2 honorable mentions for other types of specialty bases that you can utilize in the game of Rust. You don't only need to have one starter base. I like to put 1x1s around the map everywhere. This guy throws a tier 2 in here and some furnaces, but you don't really need to do that. All the 1x1 really needs to provide is a place for your bag and some boxes. If you want to have a tier 1 in it, maybe expand this in the future, you spawn in here next to a gas station. Maybe you build this next to a green card spawn like a gas station or a lighthouse, or maybe even next to water treatment where you can just run in naked. And these allow you to store some loot if you're successful in that area. You know, you crafted a bow, killed a couple people, you built a 1x1. Start over, go to another gas station. If you succeed there, you know what I mean? You just keep putting these down around areas where you can spawn in, grab some boxes, grab some green cards, and drop the loot off in a safe place. Come back at nighttime from your main base and bring all that back. And if you frequent one of these often, you find a lot of success at a gas station across the map. Maybe you upgrade them for more storage and safety. Our second honorable mention is a Minicopter Base. A lot of the times people will just throw these on their roof. They'll just put it in a little 2x1. But I think if you're a big clan, you know, you could have some fun with it and build an external one, maybe outside your base. This could be used as a quicker way to get back in your minicopter, to get back wherever you were at. If you're raiding somebody or if you're on oil rig, you could build this maybe near oil rig so that if you do die, you spawn in really quickly and you don't have to fly as far over to get back to the action. So, I mean, they don't necessarily have to be this large of a base as you've seen here. This one would maybe more so be for inside your compound with automated doors and things like that. But I think it's an aspect of the game that people don't really think about. You know, similar to having a horse base across the map, you could have a minicopter base across the map. And that concludes the top 5 specialty bases in Rust that you might not know about, especially if you're a newer player. There are other bases like helicopter bases that you use to take down the attack helicopter, flank bases, you know, external TC bases, things like that. Those are more so things that you would build inside your compound that you'll find inside of a base build video. The things I wanted to talk about in this video are things that aren't easily searchable for newer players. It's something you might not be able to find out right away unless you have friends that play Rust who are more experienced or join a clan, you know. So I just wanted to make this video to help new players out understand that there's more to the game besides a starter and a main base. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and I'll catch you in the next one.